Okay, so I just finished this row, and the last row that I did, I'm going to show you that I did this one right here and went up, and so now I'm at the top, and I'm where that dot is right there, and I'm ready to go back down again. So just to check this last row that I did, I had one purple, and then I had 3 of the gold colors that I've had to add in there, and then I had 5 of the brown ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 of the background colors up there at the top. Okay, whoop, right there. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next row. So it's the one above it, which is where that dot is, and we're going to be going down that row. So we're going to need 2 purples, and then we're going to need 1, 2, 3 brown, 3 brown. No, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4 browns, and then 1, 2, 3 golds, and then we're going to add the orange back in for this foot, and then 1 background color at the bottom. Okay, so let's do that row right there. Okay, so I need to chain up 6 because I'm going to do this square that's above the one we just did right there. So chain up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, single crochet, I did it again. Double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, which is right there, and then double crochet into the next one, next chain, and then double crochet into the next chain. Okay, so that's our top square for this row that we're going to be doing. It's that one right there. See that? And then we need another one. Okay, now we actually need 2 of the purple of the background color. Okay, but I need to now turn my work because we're now going to be going down this direction. When we turn it, it'll be going up again, but anyway. Okay, so let me show you now that my piece is kind of on the bigger side. I'm going to show you how I like to turn my work when I'm using the bobbins. Okay, so what I do is I wind up my bobbin, and then I just clip it. That's why it's handy that it's a clothespin, because I can clip it to my work. And then this one, it doesn't matter really where you clip it, you just want to clip it to your work. Okay, and let's see, this one is a ball, it's not on a bobbin, so that is where the bobby pin could come in handy by securing it to itself, so that way when I'm going to flip it, it doesn't unwind a long way and roll off. Okay, and then this bobbin is the one I'm working with, so since I've had these secured, I don't necessarily need to clip this one. I'm just going to turn it. Okay, so grab everything and flip it over. Okay, now I want to lay everything out. I can go ahead and unclip my yarn here, okay, to get it into position that I want. And then here's this one we just did, and remember we had to flip. What we did is essentially was flipped it up. Okay, the yarn needs to be back behind the hook though. Okay, see that? Okay, so now I'm going to connect it to that square, and I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch with my purple, the background color, because I need to do another purple square. Okay, oops. Okay, so now chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets, and that will complete the second of my background color square that I need for this row. Okay, now I'm going to drop that one, and I need to pick up the brown one, because if you look in the chart, we just did this square, we did this one and this one, right? And now we need 1, 2, 3, 4 brown ones. Okay, so put the yarn in between to the back, between those 2 steps or squares that we're going to join, okay, because I want to get my hook in front of it, and then I insert the hook into the that loop where I've always been using to connect with a slip stitch, and I grab the brown yarn and I slip stitch through the purple loop to connect the 2 squares together, pull on the purple to snug it up just a little bit, and then continue on. So 1, 2, 3, and then complete my brown square, which is 3 more double crochets. 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And remember, I need 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4. So there's 1. Now connect this one up to the upper step there. Okay, now I'm gonna make my next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I'm going to connect it to the next step up. Oops. With a slip stitch. Chain 3, 3 double crochets to make that square. Okay, so I've made 1, 2, 3. I've got one more to make for my 4th one. So slip stitch into that next step to connect it, and then make our square. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochets to make our square. 1, 2, and then 3. Okay, now I'm preparing to slip stitch, but since I only needed 1, 2, 3, 4 of my brown ones, I need to now change to the gold. So I want to drop that yarn and pick up now my gold strand. Give me some yarn slack here, okay? And then I'm going to start making the gold ones, and I need 1, 2, 3, right? So let me go ahead and mark the brown ones I just did. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need 1, 2, 3 of the body color, okay? So pick up my gold yarn that I'm using, and then I'm going to use that to slip stitch and connect those 2 squares together. Snug up my brown one in the back a little bit, and then continue on. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets to make our square. Move that one out of the, whoops. Now see, that got tangled just a little bit, but we can untangle that. Okay. And we need a 3rd one to make my square. Okay. So there's the first one. Now I need to connect them with a slip stitch. And then 1, 2, 3. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And then slip stitch into the next one. This is my 3rd one. 1, 2, 3. My 3rd of the gold squares that I needed. So there's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Insert my hook to do a slip stitch, but I'm now going to look at my chart, and I'll see that I've got the 3 gold ones right there done, but now I need to introduce back in the orange to make the 2nd foot, okay? Okay, so move that over that way. Now I need to put the orange in there. Okay, so hook my orange and pull it through with a slip stitch, okay? And then snug up my gold in the back. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then make the square with the orange. I like to go ahead and catch my straggler in the back when I'm making these 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now on my chart I see that I made that 1 orange one. Now I need to make 1 of the background color, and that will finish that row. Okay, so now I'm getting my background color back. Now remember, put this toward the back of the work because you want to have the hook in front of it when you insert it to make your slip stitch, okay? Now you're going to pick up that background color, the purple, and slip stitch through both of the loops for a slip stitch. Tug up the orange one, oops, to snug it up, and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we're going to turn turn the corner here, and now we're going to go up this way, okay? And so make my little arrow there so I'll remember. And we're going to go up that way. Okay, so I just want to check to see what everything's looking like. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bobbins connecting to my work. Okay, but once I get through with this row coming up, I'm going to finish the orange so I can cut that off already, and then I'll be coming up the gold, and then I'm going to be doing these 3 brown ones right there, and then I can cut my brown one. I won't need that one until we start the second wing in a couple more rows. See that? And then I will looks like I need to now introduce another gold one, because when we get finished with this gold, my strand is going to be right there. And so I'm going to go ahead and introduce another gold bobbin that I have to get up here, okay? Once I do this and then come back down, then we can connect. We'll be connecting the gold and the top here and this together into one again, okay? Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing this one. So let's start here, and we're going up the hill there. So the first one we need is 1 of the purple. Okay, so, and see, we are still getting it, the picture would be like that. Well, actually it's reverse of that. It's on that side. I'll show it to you when we flip it over. But anyway, it's still getting bigger right here. So we need to do the chain 6, the increase side, another chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, double crochet, and then double crochet into the next chain, and then double crochet into the next chain, and then that made our first square, which is this one, the first square on the row, which is this one right there. See that? Now the next one is going to be the orange. We have to pick up the orange one, okay? So, but we need to turn our work. So, like I said, go ahead and attach your bobbins, or you can secure your yarn balls, however you want to do it, to try to help flip it over where it's not so tangled when we flip it over. This is a yarn ball, so I'm going to use my bobby pin, and then this one I'm going to go ahead and attach that one, and then I need another bobby pin for this brown one. Let me wind it up a little bit, and then secure that one a little bit, and then this one is another bobbin, so I'm going to wrap that up and connect it, clip it on. Okay, so now I'm going to turn my work over. Okay, and everything goes over. Okay, see that? Now I'm going to get things laid out here. That one's in the right place. That one's in the right place. I just need to unhook it. And then this one, I just need to unhook it off of the work. Okay, and we are actually done with that one. So let's put my hook back in. Now I need to attach it to this one, because we're going to be going up this stair step, right? Okay. Okay, so we're going to connect it. But we are changing to our orange. Oops. So I took my bobby pin off here. Okay, we're changing it to the orange to finish this foot off. And then we can cut the orange, okay? We won't need it again until we do the beak. Snug that up, and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets. Whoops. Okay, and go ahead and connect it with the slip stitch right there. And we can actually, we're done with it, so we can cut it, but just be careful to go ahead and cut yourself a good tail to weave in, okay? Now, looking at our chart, we did the purple one, we did the orange one, so see, we're done with the orange right there. Now we're going to pick up the gold, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 of the gold ones, okay? So, slip stitch, and to connect it, snug up our orange a little bit, and then let's continue on. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Let me get slack in my yarn here. Whoops, let go. Okay, and then 3 double crochets to complete that square. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we need 3 more because we need a total of 4 of these yellow squares. So we've got a slip stitch to connect it, and now we're going to chain up 3. 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochets, and that will make our second square of the orange, of the gold. Okay, and then slip stitch to the next one. I need more yarn here. Okay, so slip stitch to the next to connect it, and then chain 3, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Highly recommend when you work on corner to corner, when you're doing a corner to corner graph, to work at a desk or at a table, because that way it's much easier to be able to lay out all your bobbins in the order that you're using them, or whatever, to try to help keep the tangles down. Okay, so I've done 3. I need 1 more of the gold blocks. So slip stitch to join them, and then chain up 3, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now drop my gold. Now I need my brown again. I'm gonna take my bobby pin out, and then let's go ahead and look at the chart, and we mark out the gold ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then now we need 1, 2, 3 of the brown ones, and then see, after we do those 3, then we can cut the brown, because we're not using them. We're not going to use it again until we got to use it in the very next row when we come down, because we're going to be connecting these brown ones over here to start the next wing. Okay, but we can cut it after we get done with these 3. Okay, so that will be less bobbins when you're going to have to flip it and go on to the next side. Okay, so don't need that one. Need to connect the brown one. Okay, so I need 3 of the brown ones. So slip stitch to connect it up to the next step. Snug up your gold, and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then slip stitch here, and then make your next block. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets. That'll make the next block of your brown. Oops, oops, split the yarn there. Let's do that one again. Okay, slip stitch into this one to make your next square. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets. Whoops, completely lost it that time. 2 and 3. Okay, now we have done the 3 brown ones. Looking at our chart, we've done these 3 brown ones right there, so I'm going to mark through there, and see, we're done with the brown ones until we pick them up again when we go the other direction. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off my yarn here, leave a tail to weave it in, and move that to the side, so that way when I flip it, I'm only going to have 3 colors to worry about untangling or clipping on to turn them over. Okay, so next thing I have to do, oh, I'm sorry, no I don't, because I need to, looking at my chart, I see I need to add in the gold one to get these 2 squares. So I'm going to pick up another gold bobbin and go ahead and add that, so that way I can get those 2 squares done. Okay, so I'm going to connect it, the 2 steps there. I got to connect it with a slip stitch, but I'm going to pull up my gold to start my gold color, okay, and go all the way through, and then of course I have to pull this brown one to snug that up, and then I'm going to continue on with the gold. So 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to work over my straggler in the back and do 3 double crochets to complete the square, and then slip stitch into that step to join that one, and chain 3, and then 3 double crochets to make that square. Oops. Okay, and now we're done with that one. Looking at our chart, we see that we just did these two yellow ones or gold ones, and then now we need one at the top there to finish that one. Okay, and that's the background color, so I drop that one, and I need to pick up this one. Okay, so now this one is a good example of how you can use your yarn. Okay, so see how the yarn left off down here, okay, because the time before when we went down we had two purples, and so we ended up it being over here. Okay, but see, we need a purple square up here. Okay, so now how do we get this up there? Well, two ways. You can just cut your yarn if you want to. You can do that. You can just cut your yarn right here, leave a tail to weave it in, and then connect it again up here, and then make your little top square, and then you can continue on. Or you can do this. Okay, now I think I'm going to do this because I don't like weaving in tails. So I try to avoid it as much as I can. So I'm going to have to go ahead and pull this back one square. Okay, I'm going to redo it in just a minute. Okay, I'm going to pull it back all the way where it's not connected anymore. Okay, see that? Okay, now put my hook back in. Now see, now I'm back to where that gold, not gold, the purple yarn is, and so I'm going to take it with me and travel up so then I can get it up here where I need it. Now the only way that you can do that is if you're not going to be able to see, is if you can't see that strand when you're doing this, and the reason it won't be seen is because one of the squares that's next to the yellow ones that I'm making, that other square is the purple one. See, so if this was purple and this was brown, then you can't do that. You'd have to cut the yarn and then connect up here at the top. But since this is the same color as this yarn, then I can do this. Okay, and you won't even notice it. Okay, so I bring it to the back, okay, and then I insert my hook because I need to make that one gold square again. So I insert my hook, but I just put it to the back. Okay, but I'm still using my gold. Okay, so then I go ahead and connect it with a slip stitch and chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now when I'm going to make this gold square, I'm going to just take this and I'm going to work over it. Okay, I'm going to use my gold, but I want to work over that that purple. Okay, so to do my 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and make sure you're working over that purple strand. 3. Okay, worked over the purple strand. Okay, so now it's over here. I don't need the gold now. Now I need to make my purple. So I'll pick up the purple. It's already at the back, which is good because I need to connect it from the front with a slip stitch. Okay, snug up my gold in the back, and then now continue and make my purple square. Just a chain 3 and then 3 double crochets. Need yarn. Oops, let go. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. So there you go. See, I got the yarn up to where I needed it, and you won't even see that I have that strand of yarn running through there because it's the same color as this right here next to it. See that? Okay, so we just finished this row right here. See that? Okay, so now we're going to turn, and now we're going to go back down where it says 27 right there. We're going to start right there at that dot, and now we're going to go down this way. Okay, so on your own, go ahead and pause and you can continue on. Okay, you're going to go down this row. Actually, let's see, you're going to do 1, 2, you're going to do 2 rows. You're going to go down this one all the way down, so you're going to have a purple one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gold ones. So see, when you do that, you can continue down and you won't need this gold one right here. Okay, so once because you're going to have to end up with this one, and then you're going to go down there, and then you're going to continue to go down because that gold is this one long strip here, and it's going to go all the way down until you have to introduce the brown again. Okay, so when you do that, you can cut this one, this gold, we can cut that one off. okay? Just leave a tail. And then, like I said, when you turn your work over and you're going to go back down that row, you're going to do one purple one, and then you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gold ones, and then you're going to connect your brown again and do 3 browns and then your purple on the edge, or your background color, okay? So continue on, do that row, and then turn your corner, come back up this way. You're going to do 2 purples, 1, 2, 3 browns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to have to add in the these 2 white ones right here, and then another yellow one. So you have to have your white yarn close to you, okay? And then those 2 white ones, and then the yellow one, and then the purple, and then I will meet you up when you start this row right here. So you're going to do 2 rows on your own, okay? But also, besides doing that, I want us to do a tail check. Tail check. Okay, so I have all these tails here that I've been working on. If you see here in the back, see, I have all that. And I don't want to have to leave that all the way to the end because I'm going to have a whole lot of tails to weave in. So instead of doing that, go ahead and take your yarn needle and weave in those ends and get caught up to where we're at, so that way it won't be such a mess to do at the end. Okay, so weave in your tails, do 2 rows on your chart going down and then back up again, okay? And then I will meet you back in the next clip or the next video, the next part, and then we will continue on with this owl.